Bro, I stamp on everything I love, bro. What type of gangster pull up on a man, say they gonna do something to a man, and pull out their phone on everything I love, bro? Baby, ARP in hand, man. I just asked these folks, what you wanna do? Why y'all keep staring at me? I'm sitting here, right in the drive, parking lot, right there, tell them niggas what they wanna do. Man, them niggas shaking, man. 3, you shaking. Ben, shaking. Y'all niggas ain't do shit, man. Listen, then right after that, cause I hop in the car, I'm like, man, what y'all wanna do? Y'all don't wanna do nothing. Nigga pull off in the whip, now niggas wanna pull their phone out, man. I had 2 niggas on the front line that would've laid y'all down. Come on, man. If you gonna post something, post that, bro.
NLE Choppa was just caught off guard in Houston, Texas. An NBA Ben 10 and BA Youngboy's most notorious enforcer nearly ended this man's life in broad daylight. We are talking about a clash that could have resulted in someone not returning home to their loved ones. No lie, beneath all those Zen posts and wellness content, Choppa was talking trash to the wrong person, and it eventually caused him to get cornered in a parking lot with no escape. The startling reality of what brought this feud to the pavement is more sinister than anyone thought, and we are about to expose it all. Yo, what is up, team? We are about to explore some serious street conflict that has been rattling the hip-hop world. This is the kind of grudge that ends poorly for everyone, and the past proves to us that anyone who ever challenged NBA Youngboy ended up in a casket or behind bars. Let's dive in. Now, before we ride this wave, let me be totally honest with you all. Social media has been exploding with clips of NLE Choppa being targeted by NBA Ben 10 and OG33 in Houston. But look, we are about to distinguish the facts from the myths, the real from the fake, because both parties are telling entirely different tales. December 2024. That is the month that altered everything for NLE Choppa. This Memphis artist was supposed to be on his Zen path, sharing about plants and clean living, when he decided to release not 1 but 2 attack tracks directed at NBA Young. Now he's in Houston, being pressured by Never Broke Again's crew, and the entire event nearly became fatal. Now wait a minute, before you all assume this feud just started out of nowhere, this pressure has been building since 2019, and it has been a slow heat that finally burst into a physical confrontation. But here's where it gets very spicy. NLE Choppa used to be one of NBA Youngboy's biggest supporters, and that is what makes this entire situation even weirder. So listen, 2018 to early 2019, NLE Choppa was a fresh artist from Memphis, rising up from Shatta Flow, and he was candid about NBA Youngboy being his top artist. I am talking about interviews where he is stating Youngboy is my favorite rapper with total confidence. He even flipped Youngboy's tracks. Through the storm became through the rain, and he jumped on, drawing symbols. This man was a proven fan, no doubt. But here's the thing that many people do not grasp about the streets and the business. Youngboy never really bonded with Choppa like that, and it was not personal initially. NBA Youngboy is from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and he can detect a fraud from a mile away. He noticed that NLE Choppa was doing all this tough guy stuff for the web, creating a persona. See, Choppa was a hoop player before rap. He was not really in those blocks like that. He got caught with a piece at school and went to juvie, then returned home and started music. But Youngboy, that man has been in the struggle since he was a kid. He can tell when someone is truly like that, versus when someone is just acting for the lens. The real shocker though, March 2019, that is when everything started falling apart. Choppa was on Instagram Live and his friends in the background started calling NBA Youngboy a fake thug and all kinds of rude things. One of his guys even called YBA_. Now Choppa tried to tell them to relax because he was live with 2,000 people watching, but the harm was already done. Youngboy heard about that live and jumped on his own IG live that same day. He said, "I am no killer. Who the underscore? I am not worried about no killing. Poor little guy doing the rude poll with the name color." That is when everyone knew the conflict was permanent. But look, this is where the narrative goes deeper than just some Instagram live drama. See, NLE Choppa made a choice that Youngboy could never excuse. He connected with Frito Bang and released a song called Gangster Talk in March 2019. Now in the streets and the business, we know that Frito Bang is one of NBA Youngboy's biggest rivals. They are from the same town, Baton Rouge, and it is a real war between NBA and TBGtha, Top Boy Gorillas. We are talking about lives lost, people being killed, real street combat. So when Choppa jumped on a song with Frito, that was like taking a side in a conflict he had no part in. On that song, Choppa made a health joke that people assumed was about Young, and Frito Bang insulted Youngboy's late manager, Big Dump, who was killed in 2018. That is when Youngboy knew for certain this man Choppa is no longer a fan. He is an enemy. Youngboy fought back on his song Bad Bad in February 2020. He called Choppa a fake underscore and a joke. Then on Know Like I Know in January 2022, Youngboy went hard. He threatened Choppa's life, spoke about his mother weeping over his box, stated he wants his spirit. That song was chillin', fam. Youngboy was essentially telling Choppa, you chose the wrong side and you are going to die for it. The real gossip that had everyone stunned was when YoungBoy stated on the song, "I am shocked your parents are not talking you out of this fight." That is when you know it is heavy. When a man is telling you that you are gambling with your life. Now, let's discuss why NLE Choppa decided to insult YoungBoy again in 2024 after years of attempting to keep things calm. Honestly, Choppa's numbers have been dropping. His last few tapes did not hit like Cottonwood or his early work. He was not getting the same hype, the same plays, the same focus. So what does he do? He goes back to the beef. He releases an insult track called Me Out 3 where he is attacking YoungBoy. Then he releases another one. He is talking bold on social media, posting about how he is not afraid, how he is ready for anything. But here is what Choppa did not realize. NBA YoungBoy has real shooters around him. We are not talking about artists who just act tough on songs. We are talking about proven street guys who have actually put in work. Ben 10 and OG33 are known in the blocks as crash dummies, meaning they will destroy themselves and throw their life away for YoungBoy without a second thought. For you all who might not grasp what a crash dummy is, let me clarify. In street culture, a crash dummy is someone who is willing to do the dirty work, take a life, go to jail forever, all for their friend or their group. They do not care about the results. They are the most hazardous kind of person you can fight with because they have nothing to lose. Jump to December 2024. NLE Choppa is in Houston, Texas, allegedly having some family time. But someone this is key someone from the area, reportedly sent his spot to NBA OG33. Now, I am not here to guess on who or why, but that is what was being claimed on social media. Ben 10 wrote on his story, "I just left the house for nothing." In the background, you can hear NLE Choppa's voice telling them not to forget where they are. That is when we knew something happened. Then the clips started emerging. NLE Choppa jumped on Instagram and shared his side of the story. He stated, "I swear on everything I love, bro. What kind of thug pulls up on a man, says they are going to do something to a man, and takes out their phone? Baby ARP in hand, man. I just ask these people what you want to do." Choppa claimed he was standing in the middle of the lot, ready with his piece in his hand, asking them what they intended to do. He stated Ben 10 and 33 were trembling, wanted no fight, and just took out their phones to film instead of acting. He even swore on his kids. He stated, "On my life, on everything, on my kids. All 3 of my kids can go right now if I did not just ask them what they wanted to do." That is some heavy talk to put on your children, fam. Think about that for a moment. But here is where it gets intriguing. OG33 shared a totally different narrative. He jumped on his Instagram and stated, "You saw those undercover Western hats those underscore had on. Pulled up like he is an old cowboy sitting in the middle of the lot. You are on all these lenses doing all this with the cops and then you wait until you leave to take out a little baby." Toy33 was essentially saying that Choppa did not take his gun out until after they moved away. He stated, "Choppa was terrified, saw men in cowboy hats and thought they were secret cops and wanted no real fight." Then Choppa replied again saying, "The man with the Western hat was with me. He was on my side. You all thought he was a threat, but he was with me. You all were in a jam." Now, this is where we have to talk about the main issue. NLE Choppa is not prepared for this kind of feud. And I am going to tell you why. Everyone, and I mean everyone, who ever truly fought with NBA YoungBoy ended up dead or in jail. Let's look at the list very fast. G Money from TBG killed in 2017. Dump, YoungBoy's manager, killed in 2018 reportedly by TBG. In revenge, King Von got into it with YoungBoy's circle. Ended up dead after attacking Quando Rondo in 2020. Several TBG members either dead or in prison. This is not just rap drama, fam. This is real street combat where people lose their lives. And NLE Choppa, for all his bold talk, was a hoop player from Memphis who started music. He is not made for this kind of heat. The streets are talking, and what they are saying is that Choppa got lucky in Houston. If Ben 10 and 33 truly wanted to act, they could have, but they did not. And now both sides are clashing about who was tougher in that moment. But here is the real question. Does it even count who was tougher? Choppa is out here swearing on his kids, saying he had his piece and was ready to shoot someone for defense. That is not the Zen wellness guy he has been trying to be for the last few years. That is the old Choppa, the one who is trying to be a thug for the internet. The real shocker though, this entire situation proves the mental sickness in hip-hop culture. And I am not just talking about NLE Choppa. I am talking about all of us who follow this culture. We evaluate people by street codes. We value destruction more than we value building. If Choppa would have stayed there and been shot, some people would have stated at least he stayed solid. But most people would have stated that was foolish for not leaving. In the neighborhood, we know that being called weak or being called afraid is one of the worst insults you can receive. That is why Choppa felt like he had to get on Instagram and protect himself. That is why he had to clarify that he did not flee, that he had his peace, that he was ready. But what does he gain with that? What is the reward for winning the tough guy contest? You get to state you are tougher than the next man. And with $1.50, you might be able to buy some coffee. Meanwhile, you are gambling with your life, your freedom, and your future for what? Digital respect. For people who have not been following, this is the cycle that keeps our community stuck. We are held to thug codes. If you call the police, you are a rat. If you walk away from a brawl, you are weak. If you do not hit back, you are a joke. But if you do hit back, you are either dead or in jail. NLE Choppa was on a road to something better. He was talking about Zen, healthy eating, fixing his body with plants, meditation. He was trying to stop that cycle, but the streets dragged him back. And now he is in a feud that could end his life. At the end of the day, NLE Choppa's situation is not just about him insulting NBA YoungBoy for focus and plays. It is about power, pride, brand, and the results of acting thug when you are not really made for that lifestyle. YoungBoy never had to show he was about that life. His history speaks for itself. But Choppa, he is still trying to show something, and that is hazardous. When you are trying to show you are tough, you make risky choices. You put yourself in spots you cannot escape. The real question is, what occurs next? Does this feud grow to the point where someone actually gets wounded or killed? Does Choppa wake up and realize he is playing a risky game? Or does he keep going until it is too late? History proves that fighting with NBA YoungBoy does not end well. King Von is dead. Several people from TBG are dead. And now NLE Choppa is in the target zone being cornered in lots by enforcers who do not care about the results. I am glad it did not go further in Houston. I am glad both sides left with their lives. But this is not over, fam. Ben 10 and 3-3 made it clear. They know where Choppa is, and they can reach him whenever they desire. NLE Choppa can state he had his piece, and was ready all he wants. But the truth is, if they really wanted him gone, he would not be here to share the tale. And that is the most terrifying part. He is still acting tough, still talking bold, still acting like this is just rap drama. But it is not. This is real life, with real results and real bodies falling. And unless Choppa wakes up and understands what he has entered, he might become another name in the long list of rappers who fought with NBA YoungBoy and did not survive to tell about it. What are your thoughts on NLE Choppa's situation and his feud with NBA Young? Do you think he is truly ready for this kind of heat, or is he in over his head? Leave your thoughts in the comments, and make sure you view the clips on screen for more hip-hop drama and street politics. Stay safe out there, fam. These blocks do not love anyone, and this rap industry is more hazardous than ever.